Operation Downfall, the invasion that could have changed everything in World War II. In the waning days of World War II, the world stood on the brink of an unprecedented military operation, Operation Downfall. This plan, forged in the crucible of relentless conflict, was to be the largest amphibious invasion in history, a final desperate push to bring the Empire of Japan to its knees. Crafted with meticulous precision, Downfall consisted of two main components, Operation Olympic and Operation Coronet. Olympic aimed at seizing the southernmost Japanese island of Kyushu, while Coronet targeted the main island of Honshu. The scale of this invasion was staggering, involving millions of troops, thousands of ships, and an armada of aircraft. It was a plan born out of necessity, shaped by the brutal lessons of Pacific warfare. The decision to execute Operation Downfall stemmed from a complex interplay of strategic considerations. The Allied forces, having witnessed the ferocious resistance on Iwo Jima and Okinawa, anticipated that the Japanese would fight with unparalleled tenacity to defend their homeland. Japan's geographical advantage, combined with its deeply entrenched military and civilian defense strategies, meant that any invasion would result in catastrophic casualties. Yet the specter of a prolonged conflict loomed large, and the Allies, weary of war, sought a decisive end. Downfall was envisioned as a final stroke, a monumental effort to avoid the protracted siege that could ensue if Japan's resistance continued unchecked. Operation Olympic, slated for November 1945, was the first phase of Downfall. The island of Kyushu, with its strategic airfields and proximity to the Japanese mainland, was chosen as the initial target. The plan called for a multi-pronged assault involving nearly 500,000 troops, supported by an overwhelming naval and air bombardment. The goal was to establish a foothold, disrupt Japanese defensive capabilities, and prepare for the subsequent invasion of Honshu. Kyushu's beaches were mapped, its defenses scrutinized, and every conceivable detail planned to ensure the highest chance of success. However, the Japanese were not idle. They fortified the island with a fierce determination, readying themselves for what they believed would be the decisive battle for their survival. As Allied planners delved deeper into the logistics of Olympic, the grim reality of the anticipated casualties became apparent. Intelligence reports indicated that the Japanese were amassing troops and fortifications on Kyushu at an alarming rate. Suicide attacks, both by aircraft and small boats, were expected to wreak havoc on the invasion fleet. The casualty estimates skyrocketed, with projections suggesting hundreds of thousands of Allied soldiers might perish in the initial assault alone. The Japanese, for their part, were prepared to defend their homeland to the last man, woman, and child, employing guerrilla tactics and suicidal resistance. The beaches of Kyushu, once serene, were set to become the blood-soaked arena of an apocalyptic confrontation. Following the seizure of Kyushu, Operation Coronet was planned for the spring of 1946. This phase targeted the Kanto Plain on Honshu, near Tokyo, the heart of Japan. The sheer scale of Coronet dwarfed even Olympic, with over 1 million Allied troops slated to participate. The objective was clear: to deliver a knockout blow to the Japanese military and bring about an unconditional surrender. The Kanto Plain's flat terrain was ideal for large-scale mechanized warfare, but it also meant that the Allies would face entrenched Japanese forces in a brutal and drawn-out campaign. The urban sprawl of Tokyo loomed ahead, promising a deadly house-to-house combat that would further inflate the human cost of the invasion. While the planners of Downfall meticulously crafted their strategy, another monumental decision was unfolding. The development of the atomic bomb under the Manhattan Project introduced a new, devastating weapon into the calculus of war. President Truman faced a harrowing choice: proceed with the invasion or employ the atomic bomb to force Japan's surrender. The potential for unimaginable destruction and loss of life weighed heavily on the decision-makers. The bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 brought a swift, albeit horrific, end to the war, rendering Operation Downfall unnecessary. The mushroom clouds over Japan signaled not just the end of the conflict, but also the dawn of a new nuclear age. The cancellation of Operation Downfall spared both the Allies and the Japanese from what would have likely been one of the bloodiest chapters in human history. The invasion, while meticulously planned, would have plunged Japan into further ruin, compounded by the already staggering destruction from conventional bombing and the atomic attacks. The Japanese civilian population, already reeling from years of war and privation, would have faced unimaginable horrors. The potential loss of life, the devastation of infrastructure, and the further disintegration of Japanese society were averted, leaving historians to ponder the immense scale of the disaster that never came to pass. Had Operation Downfall proceeded, the geopolitical landscape of the post-war world might have looked markedly different. The extended conflict and the involvement of Soviet forces in northern Japan could have resulted in a divided Japan, mirroring the fates of Korea and Germany. The Cold War dynamics in Asia would have been intensified, with a communist North Japan and a capitalist South Japan possibly emerging as flashpoints. The United States occupation of Japan, instead of being a relatively swift and transformative process, might have been a protracted and contentious endeavor, with guerrilla warfare and civil unrest complicating reconstruction efforts. The social and cultural fabric of Japan, already strained by years of total war, would have faced further upheaval. The psychological trauma of an invasion, coupled with the loss of countless lives and the destruction of homes and cities, would have left deep scars on the national psyche. Traditional values and social structures, already challenged by the war, might have crumbled under the weight of continued devastation. The American-led reforms, which reshaped Japan's political, economic, and social systems, might have met with stronger resistance in a society even more fractured and traumatized by an extended conflict. Operation Downfall, though never executed, remains a powerful reminder of the scale and intensity of World War II. Its detailed plans and the context in which they were conceived reflect the desperation and determination of the Allied forces to end the war. The decision to use atomic bombs instead of launching the invasion changed the course of history, sparing the world from an even greater calamity. As we reflect on this alternate history, we are reminded of the fragility of peace and the immense human cost of war. The story of Operation Downfall is not just one of military strategy, but also a testament to the harrowing choices faced by leaders in times of great crisis. It serves as a sobering reminder of the thin line between conflict and resolution, and the enduring impact of decisions made in the crucible of war. As we close this deep dive into the unrealized history of Operation Downfall, we've uncovered the immense stakes and profound impacts this invasion could have had on Japan and the world. From the staggering human costs to the geopolitical shifts, the story of Downfall serves as a powerful reminder of the decisions that shape our world. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, there's so much more to uncover. Join us at Epic History Facts by hitting that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights, compelling narratives, and deep dives into the moments that have defined our history. Don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to journeying through history with you again soon.